Landlords Podcast. And we are live. Lord Cognito here, Iron Lord Podcast, lordsofgaming.net. And who is this fine gentleman we have in the realm today?
Excellent. My name is Eric Schrader. I'm the community ambassador for Rockfish Games.
Awesome. Rockfish Games in the house. Now, first thing we have to talk about right off the bat is this cool game called Everspace.
Right?
Tell us about Everspace 2. This is a shooter. Like, give us the whole deets on Everspace.
So in order to do that, I am going to start with Everspace 1 first to create a bridge.
Let's get the history.
Beautiful.
You're giving us the history.
So basically, Everspace 1 is an arcadey space shooter with a roguelike formula. So that means whenever you die, you have to start back over and do everything again. And it's all procedurally generated environments to keep things fresh, keep you on your toes. Very heavily skill-based game. I do recommend it. The more time you put into it, the more it gives back.
Nice.
Okay,
continue.
So now that bridge goes directly into Everspace 2. We are still an arcadey space shooter. However, instead of a roguelike, it's an open world RPG.
Oh, that's a huge departure from the first.
It's a big change.
Yeah.
It's a big change.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of reasons why we are doing this. The long story short is that it's a really proper continuation of the story arc that we have built from the events of Everspace 1 moving into Everspace 2. Now, I'm not going to get spoiler, so don't worry about this, but in Everspace 1, you do play the role as a clone, and you're trying to figure out why you were created, what you're trying to accomplish, and like who you are, all of these different things, and they come together. It comes full circle at the end of Everspace 1. And with this new knowledge you've acquired, when you start into Everspace 2, you're now trying to define yourself as this clone in the world. You're trying to find your purpose.
Okay.
It opens up into this open world RPG that gives you just that experience.
Now, this sounds amazing, right? So what I want to ask, though, is how are you handling story progression, the story beats? I mean, with a shooter, right? I would think that, I would say that it's completely impossible, but there have to be some challenges. Is it like between stages we're doing like that, or are we doing the whole narrative during the game? How are we handling the narrative and story aspects, story building aspects of the game?
Absolutely. So we've got a locked in linear storytelling, about a 20 to 30 hour campaign is what we're shooting for. Which you can break away from at any point in time and say, I want to go explore that planet over there, or I want to go to a completely different solar system, or I want to test my guns against that really big ship off in the distance. And you're going to make those decisions that are going to give you experience, leveling up your pilot, and also giving you new opportunities and new gear that you're finding, which, by the way, is our itemization is entirely like a Diablo in space experience. So you have all of these different rich modifiers and attributes that can completely change up the way you're playing, finding a new energy core, a new weapon.
Nice. So again, we got a lot of so a little bit of randomization of different things, loot that you pick up that'll give you different attributes that help out on the ship. Okay, so we got Diablo in space, a little bit with a little open world. Okay, now break down the open world. So in the sense of, in the beginning there's a linear path, kind of to get the player acclimated.
Yes.
But then still you can open up at any point.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so then from there, is there, you have that freedom, but how do you advance the story? Is the game giving you clues to advance or say, hey, this is objective one that you need to focus on to the next thing? How's that handled?
That's a great question. So the big thing is that we want to really focus in on making sure the player has the direction to move forward at any given time. So when you complete objective A, it will naturally assign objective B for the very next task.
Okay.
But you can just click a button that says, I don't want to look at that on my screen.
Gotcha.
I want to go do my thing. And then when you're like, okay, I need to progress the story, you turn that thing back on and you head for objective B.
Okay.
With those side missions and things like that, is it allow you to essentially have extra side missions in addition to have that one linear story you have?
Absolutely. The side missions will open up for not only yourself to develop new abilities and attributes and also find unique equipment that you can only find by doing those side missions. You will also end up encountering new companions and mission chains that they would only be able to provide you by stretching yourself out and going exploring and doing all of those things.
Now tell me about companions. So these are like NPCs that will assist you during combat or just people that you just come across?
Well, why not both?
Oh, well, hey, if Everspace is providing these options, then why not?
So with the story specifically, that's where you're going to see these companions start showing up that you're meeting along your path.
Okay.
And in some cases, they will join you for the missions that you are challenged by.
Nice.
And in other cases, you just say, hey, you know what, hang out at the home base. I'm going to go do my thing. I'll be back, all right?
Nice.
Do you allow for like multiplayer? Like if you need help and you got to call a friend up and be like, hey, can you come and join us? Is that something that you guys? So is it strictly like a single player story, or is it allowed for multiplayer?
So we are entirely focused as a single player experience.
Okay.
It's the way we want to be. We really don't want to go into a multiplayer territory. You know, we've had a lot of people saying it would be so great if we did that. We don't disagree. It's just not what our vision is.
Okay, fair enough. We respect that. So again, now as far as the basic ship combat, like just moving around, things of that nature, right? So what are our basic guns, turrets? What are we doing?
Oh yeah. So yeah, you have a lot of different opportunities to diversify your weapon portfolio, if you will.
Okay, what are we working with?
Yeah, so with Everspace 1, we introduced a lot of different weapons, including the Gatling gun, your pulse laser, your beams. We had stuff like a neutron cannon that was introduced in the DLC, lightning gun, a plasma thrower. Who needs a flamethrower in space? We do. So you're welcome for that. It's wonderful. And we're going to see the adaptation of a lot of those weaponries combined with unique attributes and modifiers, because that Diablo-style loot system that's going to transform, like even two different pulse lasers could theoretically be entirely different from one another.
That's where that random loot factor comes in.
The attributes from the weapons and things you're talking about, are those things that are like 100% generated like on the fly, or are they like pre-designated? Like the Gatling gun only allows like X, Y, and Z different abilities?
Yes. So the way that we're navigating that space is that because you're going out and doing your own thing, you are going to find a lot of randomized loot that's just completely random. But there's also going to be those missions that if you're very set on, very intentional about completing, you will be rewarded with very set statistical gains for certain equipment. So for example, a legendary pulse laser, for example, the only way you can get it is if you complete a very specific mission chain. And that legendary pulse laser will always have very specific attributes associated with it.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So right now, Rockfish Games, again, we got the sequel with this new direction, this robust, ambitious title. Where are we at right now in development? And then also, what are we working with engine-wise? Because the game looks phenomenal.
Unreal Engine 4 is what we're working with. Yeah, we're really pleased with the results. It's been a fun process. And development-wise, we are still very heavy work in progress, getting really close to our alpha. Okay. So from our alpha, transition to beta, early access. Early access is a really important one. Okay. Because our doors are going to be opening up wide for the masses. Okay. Our alpha and our beta are closed off only to our Kickstarter backers.
Fair enough. These are the supporters. You got to respect the day ones.
Absolutely.
Got to respect the day one.
So with early access, that's going to be about September, the end of this year.
Awesome.
Development time is about 1 more year from that point to full release. So we have a lot of time to work with you guys and what your ideas are and match them to our vision to create not just a good game in our eyes, but a great game together.
Now, from the ambition aspect of the Kickstarter or platform, right now we stick in PC and then maybe with the potential to go to console in the future, or it's just strictly PC while we reach our goals?
So with Everspace 1, we kind of had that launch of PC first and then consoles later.
Yes.
We want to nix that. So we are aiming for a PC, Mac, Linux, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 at release.
You just touched my heart right now. Because as a fan of this genre, I feel the console space doesn't have enough. I grew up with games like, when I first saw it, it reminded me of a game that I used to play on 3DO called Total Eclipse. And basically, it was Crystal Dynamics game, space shooter. But then I felt some more story beat aspects. I felt a little wing command. I felt a lot of different beats in it. And I definitely think it has a ton of potential. So I'm really looking forward to developing this game. You guys got me excited. I cannot wait. Back to Kickstarter. Where can they go for the Kickstarter? Where can people do to support the game, that really want to get information on this game?
Absolutely. There's a lot of different ways that you can actively get involved. I think the best ways are really going to our Discord, believe it or not, and just hanging out and talking with us.
Okay, awesome.
That's huge. It's transforming. And the more you contribute, the more we're inclined to figure something out.
Okay,
really
all right.
We also do stream every Friday, except not tomorrow because we're here. But we stream every Friday, and we'll stream to...
what's the stream? What's the platform? What's
Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, Steam. We're everywhere.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
And this is under Rockfish, or?
Yeah, it's
the people want to know. The people want to know.
So I can even put this up.
There we go.
Look at all these different locations. Hopefully that's nice and focused. A lot of different places you can go to hang out, get involved with us. We're always having a good time, and we really do value the community here too, because with Everspace 1, that transition for us, the community is what really helped build this massive experience that not only bettered it for us, but obviously for the community at large.
Absolutely.
And we're using that same formula with how we're addressing Everspace 2. It's a necessary component to game development.
Awesome. I love the community involvement. I love that they're taking feedback. I love the progression from the first. A lot of potential here. We're looking forward, keeping our eyes out on it, man. Again, you heard it here first. Everspace 2, the sequel. Iron Lord Podcast approved so far. We're going to keep an eye on this. An absolute pleasure to have you in the realm.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure, truly.
Absolutely. Everspace, y'all.